Thelma Barlo, age 92. Growing up, Thelma Barlo's mother took care of her because her father died when she was born. She became a better actress when she joined the Joan Littlewood Theater Group. A big change happened in her life because she'd been a secretary for 8 years. Barlo began getting acting jobs in the late 1960s, but her big break came out when she played Mavis Riley on Coronation Street. Between 1971 and 1997, she was in the show. The last movie she was in was Florence Foster Jenkins in 2016, but she was in Coronation Street Icons in 2021. Michael Learned, age 82. There was a famous actress named Michael Learned who was often seen on TV because of her part in The Waltons. She won 3 Outstanding Lead Actress Awards at the Primetime Emmys for her role as Olivia Walton. The 4th time she won the same award, it was for a show called Nurse. It wasn't the same for Learned when it came to love because she was divorced 3 times before she met John Doherty, her 4th and current husband. In 2018, she was in a short movie called Second Acts. Leonard Whiting, age 71. People at Leonard Whiting's church saw how skilled he was and told him to keep working on his skills. People were already amazed by how well he could sing, but when he was 12, a theater agent came to see him. Things kept going well for him, and he finally became a well-known actor. His award-winning part in Romeo and Juliet in 1968 was his best. Whiting quit being in movies in the late 1970s, but he chose to be in the 2015 movie Social Suicide. Lynn Presser is his wife, and the two of them own a house in London's Steeles Village. Barbara Walters, age 91. Barbara Walters made money in the early 1960s by writing and producing segments for The Today Show. People seemed to like her, so they gave her more time on air and made her a co-host in 1974. It was the first time a woman was hired for that kind of job. After 2 years, she made more history when she became the first woman to co-anchor an evening news show. Walters was best known for being a host on Today, 2020, and The View. Since 2016, she hasn't been seen by the public. Her last show was in 2015, however. Ralph Carter, age 60. It's one of the most exciting comebacks in recent show business history. Ralph Carter, who hasn't been seen in a long time, plays Pastor Evans in the 2022 movie Chaw. This is many years after playing his last role in the 1987 TV short Donnie's House. It's not clear why Carter's only gotten 3 acting credits altogether, especially since he played the famous role Michael Evans with his kid-playing skills. Carter, when he was young, played Michael Evans in more than 130 episodes of the famous series Good Times, making him a part of American society forever. Angela Lansbury, age 96. Angela Lansbury has been an actress for more than 8 decades and has been in many movies and TV shows. She's one of the few Golden Age Hollywood stars who's still alive today. Her most famous part to date was as the imaginary writer, Jessica Fletcher, on the police drama series Murder, She Wrote for 12 seasons. Lansbury's work pretty much shaped Hollywood as we know it today. She's worked in many areas of the business, such as voice acting, and has won up to 6 Golden Globes for outstanding performances. It makes sense that she was in the 2021 film Broadway Beyond the Golden Age. Clint Eastwood, age 93. Clint Eastwood is still a famous person in the entertainment business at the age of 93. He's a movie star whose work spanned decades, with parts in timeless hits like Dirty Harry, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Unforgiven. Eastwood has made a name for himself in the movie world. Even though a lot of time has passed, his lasting impact still fascinates people. Eastwood's rise from a young actor just starting in the business to a renowned director and producer shows how dedicated he is at telling stories and how much he loves his job. As Eastwood moves into the later stages of his famous career, his reputation as a Hollywood legend stays strong, showing the timeless draw of a true movie master. Jerry Lee Lewis, age 86. Jerry Lee Lewis, a famous guitarist from the 20th century, helped start rock and roll and was known as the Killer. People fell in love with his songs even after the news of his marriage to his cousin who's 13 years old. This was because he was so great at life. That person in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has had a career spanning more than 7 decades. They've stayed current and launched a new record in 2021 called Breathless. Even though he might not be able to move like he used to, like standing on top of the piano and playing with his feet and elbows, we can still expect his live show to be fun. Dean Stockwell, age 85. Dean Stockwell began saving money when he was still a child because he worked as a child actor. He was famous for his roles in The Green Years and Anchors Away, but as an adult his roles in Long Day's Journey into Night and Married to the Mob made him even more famous. At one point he was also on TV. His most famous parts were in Battlestar Galactica and Quantum Leap. Stockwell's last movie role was in the 2015 movie Entertainment. He has since decided to quit and spend more time with his family. Linda Evans, age 79. The 1960s brought Linda Evans a lot of fame as an actress, but her best-known parts are on TV. After being the lead in The Big Valley, she went on to act in shows like Dynasty, Bachelor Father, and Kenny Rogers as the Gambler. The adventure continues. Evans has worked all her life. Even though she's now in her golden years, you can still see her in the entertainment world. In 2021, she was in the movie Swan Song, which is about a stylist who is retired. Joan Collins, age 88. From her first show in the 1950s to now, Joan Collins has become a star in the theater world. One of the many awards she's won is the Golden Globe, another is the People's Choice Award. She's been in high demand as an actress since she was young. Over the years, she's been in a lot of big movies and TV shows like Dynasty, These Old Broads, and American Horror Story. She's still alive and well, and you can see her in the documentary Lady Boss, the Jackie Collins story. In 2017, she played the lead in the comedy The Time of Their Lives. Charlene Tilton, age 63. Charlene Tilton is an American actress who was born in San Diego, California, and became famous for playing Lucy Ewing on the long-running TV show Dallas. Before and after Dallas, Tilton didn't have any trouble getting other acting jobs. The part kept her busy from 1978 to 1990. With 68 playing credits and counting, she's still working in both small and large-scale movies. A lot of Christmas movies have come out in the last few years, such as A Welcome Home Christmas, Second Chance Christmas, and A Unicorn for Christmas. Additionally, she was in the 2012 remake of Dallas, which was made by TNT. Sean Cassidy, age 64. Sean Cassidy has written, directed, and starred in a huge number of movies and TV shows. He helped make TV shows like American Gothic, Roar, and Cover Me, based on the true life of an FBI family. He's also famous for his role as the lead in the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew mysteries in the late 1970s. But that wasn't really how Cassidy got his start in show business. When he first signed with Warner Brothers Records, some of his first songs were big hits in a few places. After that, he put out 5 records by himself, and 2 of them did well. Pamela Sue Martin, age 69. People of all ages enjoy the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew mysteries. Many young readers were influenced by the books. If you liked the books, you may have also seen the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew mysteries on TV from the 1970s with Pamela Sue Martin as Nancy Drew. She's been in a lot of movies and TV shows over the years, like Dynasty, The Lady in Red, and Buster and Billy. Over time, she's slowly pulled away from Hollywood life and focused on her work to protect and preserve nature. Robbie Benson, age 66. This American actor became famous when he was only a teenager in the 1970s. At that time, he was famous for his roles in sports-themed teen movies like One-on-One and Ice Castles. But Benson didn't stop working hard in show business after his early success. In the 1990s, all of his hard work paid off when he was chosen to play the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, one of Disney's most famous animated movies. He's still working, mostly as a voice actor for video games. Roberta Flack, age 84. The first singer to win Record of the Year at the Grammy Awards twice in a row was Roberta Flack. She's now considered a star in the music business, something that Billie Eilish and U2 also managed to do. Most of her family members were musicians, so she's always loved singing. When she started making money as an artist, songs like Killing Me Softly with his song and The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face made her very famous. Flack turned 84 years old recently. In 2020, she won the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Brian Brown, age 74. After more than 40 years in the business, Brian Brown has been in more than 80 movies and TV shows. In the 1980s drama The Thornbirds, he gave his best performance. For that role, he was nominated for both an Emmy Award and a Golden Globe Award. Even now, he's very busy in show business. Fans enjoy watching him in movies like Palm Beach and on TV shows like The Moth Effect. In 2020, he was in the documentary TV show Australian Story. George Strait, age 70. Folk music and country music have changed a lot over the years, but the American singer George Strait became famous for staying true to the roots of his music. Strait gained a lot of fans by staying true to himself, complete with cowboy hat, and writing amazing neo-traditionalist country songs instead of switching to a more radio-friendly style of country. Strait took a big chance, but it paid off. 69 million records have been sold just in the U.S. He has one of the most impressive discographies in the history of country music, with 13 multi-platinum records and over 30 platinum albums. He's thought to be one of the best-selling recording acts of all time. Philip Angam, age 70. Most people know Philip Angam from his regular guest part as Vedic Barrow on Star Trek Deep Space Nine and his role as John Merrick in The Elephant Man. He was even nominated for Best Actor in the 1979 Tony Awards for the part. He made his acting start in What the Butler Saw in 1975, and people still admire what he's done for the entertainment business. Since Angam is now in his 70s, he doesn't have to worry about anything that might get in the way of his acting career. Michael York, age 80. The first time Michael York played an actor was in 1964, and he still doesn't want to stop. His roles in movies like Cabaret, Romeo and Juliet, and The Three Musketeers have wowed his fans tremendously. His IMDb page says that he's been in more than 160 movies and TV shows. In September 2013, York played Albany at the Old Vic in London as part of the gala performance of King Lear by William Shakespeare. He's never stopped acting, and from 2006 to 2020, he played many parts in the TV show The Simpsons. Robert Wagner, age 92. Robert Wagner worked hard at his job for 70 years and was always perfect. He was great on stage, in movies, and on TV. His memorable parts in movies like Austin Powers, The Pink Panther, and The Towering Inferno made him famous. He became very famous after his first TV show, It Takes a Thief, in 1967. Interestingly, he wasn't ready to play the thief at first. He was in his 80s, but he was still a regular on the 2010 TV show NCIS. Forever Doris, a 2021 video documentary, also had him perform. Lorenzo Lamas, age 63. If you remember Lorenzo Lamas from his time on Nickelodeon as Dr. Hollywood in Big Time Rush, that was his big break. But his big break came in the 1980s on the soap opera Falcon Crest. Most people don't know he was skilled enough to be successful as both an actor and a race car driver. He also quickly became qualified as a helicopter pilot. Lamas is the one who has always been living the dream. Even though he's been working for 50 years, he's still living well and making changes in the business. In 2020, he played an FBI agent in the movie Scorpion Girl: The Awakening. Stephanie Powers, age 78. Patricia Powers signed Stephanie Powers when she was 16 years old. She was given a fake name that everyone loved, even though her real name was Stefania Zofia Paul. From 1979 to 1984, when she was in Heart to Heart, she was at the height of her fame. She was nominated 5 times for the Golden Globe Awards and twice for the Primetime Emmy Awards for her great work in the show. After all, Powers is 78 years old, and it looks like she doesn't mind working as long as she can make a lot of money. She was on The Verge in 2021. Betty Lynn, age 95. In the 1960s, Betty Lynn was a very well-known actress because of her part in The Andy Griffith Show. Even before she worked on TV, she was in movies like Meet Me in Las Vegas, June Bride, and Sitting Pretty. She learned about singing early on because her mother was a singer who wanted to share her love with her daughter. After that, Lynn joined the theater team of the United Service Organizations. She began playing on radio and Broadway in her early years. She was given the Order of the Longleaf Pine Award by North Carolina in 2016. Billy D. Williams, age 84. In the middle of the 1940s, Billy D. Williams made his Broadway appearance when he was only 17 years old. He liked to paint when he was in college, and working as an actor helped him pay for art tools. When he played Lando Calrissian in the Star Wars movies in the early 1980s, he became very famous. The last time he played the part was in The Rise of Skywalker, which came out in 2019. Brian's Song and Lady Sings the Blues were two other movies that people will remember him for. Williams stayed busy over the years. In 2020, he did voice work for the TV movie The Lego Star Wars Holiday Special. Harry Belafonte, age 94. A lot of people know Trinidadian Caribbean music because of Harry Belafonte. He was known as the King of Calypso. He became famous after putting out the record Calypso in 1956. It was the first time an artist put out an LP that sold at least 1 million copies. He also built up his playing resume by being in movies like Carmen Jones and Island in the Sun. If you look back at the 1950s and 60s, Belafonte was close friends with Martin Luther King Jr. and backed the Civil Rights Movement. The sit-in, Harry Belafonte hosts The Tonight Show, was a documentary about him that came out in 2020. Tony Dow, age 76. As a child, Tony Dow was a talented swimmer, but in the 1950s he went to casting calls even though he had no training at all. Luckily, he got a job on Leave It to Beaver, which made him famous all over the world. After the show finished, he was in My Three Sons, The Greatest Show on Earth, and Dr. Kildare. In the 1970s, Dow worked in the building while also trying to make movies and write for newspapers. He did special effects work for Doctor Who, too. He was in Suspense from 2015 to 2016. Richard Dean Anderson, age 71. Most of you first saw Richard Dean Anderson when he was in General Hospital near the end of the 1970s. After being cast as the lead in the MacGyver series, he became an A-list star. At the height of his fame, he won fans for his role in movies like Firehouse and Pandora's Clock. People saw his face on TV more often when he played the lead role in Stargate SG-1 in the late 1990s. Anderson gives back to the community in his spare time and is a proud backer of the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the Waterkeeper Alliance. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon